Hey guys, good afternoon. So we've just got the market on close and it is kicking up. We've got a nice rally up in the ES. The VIX came down sharply at 1500, but kind of evening out now. We definitely had a killer day in the market. So huge V bottom, 60-minute V bottom from this panic of the tariff. Not, excuse me, not the tariff, Moody's. At the Moody's. It's either tariffs or Moody's. Okay, so the Moody's was Friday. So we brought all that back, made it back up, and then closed on top of it, which is huge. I mean, really, to see this close on top of it. So it held this support. This what was resistance became support, and it held it. So very exciting. The funny story was this morning I got the skew report, looking at the R-vol, H-vol 3 to 3 divergence and the skew, and I didn't like it. It came back positive with that huge upside range, and I was like, there's no way it's going to go upside. We're in a Moody's, where you don't understand, there's macro involved. And that's why I came up with that plan B. But the analysis was correct. The report was right. The risk was to the upside. And the market unfortunately had already sold off. So we bought that bounce hard and it did go back up. I think it would have gone up a lot more had it not, well, I guess the skew would have been different. So every day the skew's different. So you've got to take what the skew is on a day-to-day basis. So there was no selling today, but hold on to your ponchos because we are at close to resistance on the higher time frames. So here was the daily three, got up to the daily three and came back a couple of times, including right now. Um, but this is the daily three R vol. Here's the daily three H vol. And I thought we would go from the R vol to the H vol, and we didn't get up there. The market ran out of steam just getting that far to close the gap. But the skew to the downside here was tremendous. We gapped down tremendously on the RTH open. The upside gap up, gap down on the RTH open and came down past the H vol to the R vol. So my H vol R vol skew level worked beautifully on the VIX today, which I'm very happy about. This R vol H vol works all the time. I've shown it to you 100 times, if not 1,000 times, sitting here watching it during live trade sessions. You can follow it on your own platforms and put the threes and on HVol, RVol, and the threes and twos, even the ones. I mean, if it's a low volatility day, they'll even settle into those ones. But it's a great strategy for you if you want to pay attention to that. So as far as the higher time frame is concerned and what I'm seeing with that, let's take a quick look. If I can pull that up quickly. Here we go. We put this back on ES. All right, here it goes. It's flipping now. All right. So ES is heading to 6,000, but it's the monthly level that I'm most concerned with and want to take a look at that. One second, I'll pull this over. And there was some really good news. Came out of a 2-hour phone call, I guess, today with Russia and the United States, and they're going to enter into an immediate ceasefire and work to a resolution of the war, which is fantastic. So here we are on the monthly three. So it was worth waiting, or the quarterly three. So here's the quarterly three right on it. So let's pull this up and let you see it. Oh, that is a monthly. I don't know how monthly got in there because I knew there was going to be a monthly three. Um, this is supposed to be a quarterly chart. So I'm going to remove that. Doesn't belong on this chart. You can see here we have room to continue moving higher. We haven't quite gotten to the 70 yet on the RSI, but we're sitting on that monthly three. I shouldn't have deleted that. I'm sorry. Give this a second to build. See, we have plenty of room for upside on the quarter through June 30th. But on the monthly, right here, look, we've hit the wall. I just want to reload it just to make sure. Yep, 59, 82, 25. And then here, which is even more concerning, this is a 1.5 time the 30-day range. So we have a 3 on the monthly range and a 1.5 times on the 30-day. So we are like squished. It may not even hit the 6,000. You see what I'm saying? I was like telling people today earlier on X, don't get too excited just because we, got long today doesn't really mean that it could stay long. Um, why don't I think that we could break that and go up to this higher three, which, it theoretically it could, but the SPX, remember, was um, at the um, long put, and now we are above the short call at 58.80. So they're hedging already after having been hedged this month at 52.90 right here. 52.90 hedged to the downside, came back, broke back above. So they did a 100-point move on that hedge to keep it alive. got it back down, held it. That 100 point was controlling it, got it back down, and then it gapped up on them before, the hedge, I guess, could be taken out, or I don't know what they did exactly. They haven't called to let me know, but I do know in May we gapped up right away and gapped up again, and now we're trying to get up to 6,000 here, or 60-20. What is it? It's sitting right behind there. 60-23-49. So will we make it? Well, I'm not so sure because the ES is the market that they hedge with, and that monthly 3 and 30-day 1.5 times the range is right there. We're overstretched. We're Even though the RSI shows more upside on that quarterly, that's a quarterly contract. I haven't looked at it for the monthly, but I do know we're overstretched. So we're due for a pullback anyway. Not a Moody's pullback. There was, not a risk, fear pullback, just a normal pullback. So even though we got high today, doesn't mean that tomorrow it might not pull back. In fact, I would be surprised if it didn't pull back. Okay. So, end of the month, when is that? How long are we talking? We've got 2 weeks. We've got this week and next week, and then we go into the June 2nd, which is a holiday, right? Memorial Day? Or is that on the 30th? When is Memorial Day? Monday, May 26th. So it is in May. So we don't have quite 2 weeks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it's next Monday. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 days left. And, traders are going to, those Monday holidays, the 23rd is going to be a really light day. The 26th, 27th, you know, 26th, we won't have anything, but the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th is like going to be holiday week. So, yes to the upside, but that's why they may want to take it down a little bit and get a pullback in so that they can drift it up slowly on a holiday trade kind of basis. But for right now, 17 is the GEX target for the VIX, and that would get us below the 37-day one right here, and back towards 15, 17, 18 VIX going forward. So ranges are going to get smaller, and so we'll have to focus on condors, or buy the dip kind of thing and drift it up, because it's going to be chop city in the middle. Good news and bad news, right? So the good news is we're not going to sell off. The bad news is it's chop city. It'll be, you know, pull back, chop, flat. Unless they break that monthly three. If once they break that monthly three on the ES, then it's, um, up to 6,000 quickly, 60-23 on the SPX. But we're right there right now. Target is reached. and they're holding it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you. They could wick it, they could hit the 6,000 and come down. They could gap over. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen, but the monthly three is going to have, a lot of risk sitting on it, which it does right now. That's why we can't break through it. Otherwise, my model would have worked. I'm sure of it. I would have been able to hit that upper three had that not been sitting there. I need to make sure that I take those, monthly threes into consideration on my daily range models. I'll emphasize that more um, specifically going forward. So, but really overall, I think, the market's very healthy. There was no panic um, today. They bought it and very exciting. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for this market overall going forward. I mean, Goldman Sachs has already, upgraded its recommendation of a 10% market this year. So I think they're going to be talking with Russia, as from what the press release came out of allowing them to go back and have commerce with all the Western markets, which would be fantastic. So that'll be a lot of market opportunities for everyone. So keep your fingers crossed that, cooler heads can prevail and commerce can flourish and GDP can grow and lift all boats. That's my motto is let it float all boats. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hope y'all have a good evening and watch tonight to see if 59.93.75 breaks, 59.92, 59, oh, see, 82, 59.82, and 59.93. See if those hold or fade. I think they're going to fade. So, may not see 6,000 to the RTH session when they wick it and come back down. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good night.